Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jai Radha Madhava Gunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Gunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaladhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaladhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Brala Nushima, Jaya Brala Nushima, Brala Nushima, Jaya Brala Nushima. Nushima Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. विशुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यष्ठोत्तरः श्रीवान् केस भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की निरंतरा श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter number 21, text number 3 and 4. Text number 3, I'll read myself. Tasya vai duhita brahman devahutiti vishrutha पत्नी प्रजापते रुक्ता कर्धमस्या त्वया नघा। Translation purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: O holy Brahmana, O sinless one, you have spoken of his daughter, known by the name Devahuti, as the wife of the sage Kardama, the Lord of created beings. Purport. Here we are speaking of Swayambhuva Manu, but in Bhagavad Gita we hear about Vaivasvata Manu. The present age belongs to the Vaivasvata Manu. Swayambhuva Manu was previously ruling, and his history begins from the Varaha age, or the millennium, when the Lord appeared as a boar. There are 14 Manus in one day of the life of Brahma, and in the life of each Manu there are particular incidents. The Vaivasvata Manu of Bhagavad Gita is different from Swayambhuva Manu. Text number 4. Tasyam sa vai mahayogi. Tasyam sa vai mahayogi. Tasyam sa vai mahayogi. Yuktayam yogalakshanaih. Yuktayam yogalakshanaih. Yuktayam yogalakshanaih. Sasarja katidha viryam. Sasarja katidha viryam. Sasarja katidha viryam. Tanme shushusave vada. Tanme shushusave vada. Tanme shushusave vada. Tasyam savai mahayogi. Yuktayam yoga lakshanaihi. Sasarja katidha viryam. Tanme shushusave vada. Tasyam savai mahayogi. Yuktayam yoga lakshanaihi. Sasarja katidha viryam. Tanme shushusave vada. Tasyam savai mahayogi. kat yuktayam yoga lakshanehi sasajja katida viryam tanme shushu sabebada tasyam savai mahayogi yuktayam yoga lakshanehi sasajja katida viryam tanme shushu sabebada tasyam savai mahayogi yuktayam yoga lakshanehi sajjakatitha viryam tanme shushusabe bhada tasya savai mahayogi yuktayam yoga lakshanehi sajjakatitha viryam tasya shushusabe bhada. What meaning? Tasyam, in her, Saha Kardhama Muni. Why? In fact, Mahayogi, great mystic yogi, Juktayam, endowed, Yoga Lakshanehi, with the eightfold symptoms of yogic perfection. Sasarja, propagated. Katida, how many times? Viryam, offsprings. That narration, me, to me, Shushrusave, who am eager to hear. Vada, tell. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation: how many offspring did that great yogi beget through princess who was endowed with eightfold perfection in the yoga principles? Oh, pray tell me this, for I am eager to hear it. Translation with repetition. How many offspring did that great yogi beget through the princess who was endowed with eightfold perfection in the yoga principles? Oh, pray tell me this, for I am eager to hear it. Purport. Here Vidura, inquiring about Kardama Muni and his wife Devahuti and about their children. It is described here that Devahuti was very much advanced in the performance eightfold yoga. The 8 divisions of yoga perfection are described as control of the senses, strict following of the rules and regulations. Third, practice of different sitting postures. Fourth, control of the breath. Fifth, withdrawing the senses from sense objects. Sixth, concentration of the mind. Seventh, meditation. And eighth, self-realization. After self-realization, there are 8 further perfectional stages, which are called yoga siddhis. The husband and wife, Kardama and Devahuti, were advanced in yoga practice. The husband was a Mahayogi, great mystic, and the wife was a Yoga Lakshana, or one advanced in yoga. They united and produced children. Formally, after making their lives perfect, great sages and saintly persons used to beget children. Otherwise, they strictly observe the rules and regulations. Shri Radha Krishna Chandra ki, Shitaya Srila Prabhupada ki. Formally, after making their lives perfect, great sages and saintly persons used to beget children, otherwise they strictly observe the rules and the regulations of celibacy, brahmacharya. Following the rules and regulations of celibacy is required for perfection of self-realization and mystic power. There is no recommendation in the Vedic scripture that one can go on enjoying material sense gratification at one's whim as one likes, and at the same time become great meditator by paying a rascal some money. The sense of Bhakti Vedanta par. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshulmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupādaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavranta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd Canto, 20th chapter talks conversation between Manu and Kardama, Swayambhuva Manu and Kardama. So Vidura is inquiring from Maitreya Muni about the descendants of Swayambhuva Manu. So Swayambhuva Manu got 2 male children and 3 female children. That's what we discussed. Out of 3 female, Devahuti also 1. So Vidura want to know about Devahuti. She is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, married to a great yogi, Kardama. And here Vidura is very eager to hear about the subject matter of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. They are the great, they perfected their yoga practices. So Vidura is asking, O holy Brahmana, O sinless one, you have spoken of the daughter known by the name Devahuti as wife of sage Kardama, Lord of the created, and Kardama Muni is son of Lord Brahma. So on the purport, Srila Prabhupada says here we are speaking of Swayambhuva Manu, but in Bhagavad Gita we hear about Vaivasvata Manu. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna speaks, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavam Ahamabhyavam Vivasvan Manave Praka Manu Vikshahe Abhravit. I spoke this message of Gita, the sun god named Vivaswan. Sun god Vivaswan. Vivaswan spoke to the Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku. Here the Vaivasvata Manu is here in Bhagavatam speaks. Okay, here Prabhupada say this Swayambhuva Manu and Bhagavad Gita is the Vaivasvata Manu. Vaivasvata is the son of sun god. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks about different avatars to Sanatana Goswami. And avatar of the Lord is innumerable in Bhagavata speaks. After spoke about the many avatars, so there are innumerable number of avatars counted. In an ocean, the waves cannot be counted. Similarly, the incarnation of the Lord is unlimited. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also speaks. There is a Gunavatara, Jugavatar, Manvantara, like this. So many avatars are there. In explaining the Manvantara avatara here, Sanatana Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking the different avatars. Brahmara ekadine haya chauda manvantara chauda avatara taham karena Ishvara. In one day of the Brahma, there are 14 changes of the Manu. And during the reign of each, those 14 Manus, an incarnation is manifested by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, therefore, there is a 14 Manu in one day of Brahma. So, around 71 Mahayugas for every Manu will rule. So when a Manu is changes and the Lord also take incarnation, it's called Manvantara Avatara. So there is every Manu accompanied with one Lord's incarnation is called Manvantara Avatara. So 14 ekadine maase chari sata bisha Brahmara Vasare Pancha Sahasra Chali. So you say there are 14 Manvantara avatars in one day of Brahma. 420 in 1 month. There are 420 Manus. 14 Manus in one day. 420 Manus in 1 month. And in a year of Brahma, there are 540 Manus. Every Manu comes, there are also incarnation of the Lord. That means in one day, in 1 year of the Lord Brahma, there are around 540 Manvantara avatars also. So during the 100 year of Brahma's life, there are 5,04,000 Manvantara avatars. So there are the Manus, 5,04,000 Manus, and every Manu, there is a Manvantara, there is a Manvantara avatara, the Lord takes incarnation. At present age is Vaishvasata Manu. So 7th Manu of this day of Brahma, what the day is going on now, in that the first Manu was Swayambhuva Manu. 7th Manu is Vaishvasata Manu. So in a Swayambhuva Manu, Varaha Avatar is a Manvantara Avatara. For the Vaishvasata Manu, Vamana is the Manvantara Avatara. So these are the explanations are there. The names are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to Janatana Goswami about every Manu who are the different Manus and different Manvantara Avataras are explained. So all these explanations are Bhagavatam discussed about. So Bhagavatam is not some story, it's a history with a proper description, time period, everything is mentioned. So beginning of this Swayambhu Manu, Dehuti is the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, and Kardama Muni is a Brahmas, born of Lord Brahma. And here Vidura is asking, how many offsprings did that great yogi begot through the process, who was endowed with the eightfold perfection in the yoga principles? So, now in previous some purport in the Bhagavatam also say, why Vidura is interested in some offsprings or children begot through the sexual intercourse. So the sexual intercourse is not denied according to the Vedic principles. Kama dharma viruddho kama asmi is sex, which is according to religious principles that Krishna approves. So now here Kardama Muni and Dehuti is not ordinary husband and wife. You see? Great yogi. So in ancient culture, everything is properly defined and practiced and executed. This is the system. So even in ancient time, one to beget a child, one should be properly yoga perfected person. Such a person is give birth a children, and that child will be very cultured. So there are eightfold yoga system: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So Kardama and Dehuti both are perfect yogis. That means Ashtanga yoga practice, they properly perfected. Yama, control of the senses. Niyama, strictly following the rules and regulations. Asana, practice of different sitting postures. Pranayama, control of the breath. Pratyahara, withdrawing the senses from the sense object. Dharana, concentration of the mind. Dhyana, meditation. And samadhi, self-realization. These are the 8 stages in Ashtanga yoga. Lord Krishna elaborately discuss in a Sankhya yoga. About the Ashtanga yoga. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with the deer skin and a soft cloth. The seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and should practice yoga by controlling the mind and the senses, purifying the heart and fixing the mind on one point. Further Lord Krishna say, Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achalam stiraha sampreksha nasikagram swa dishas chanavala lokhayan prasannatma vigatabhir brahmachari prate sithaha manaha samyamya machitto yukta ashita matparaha. Lord say, one should hold one's body, neck, head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose, focusing on tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. The very important thing. So, all these yoga practices, so any human being thoroughly understand all these things and importance of. So, as we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, we take it is very easy. Say Bhakti Yoga means anything and everything is allowed. So, sense gratification is allowed. We are thinking, okay, here say, even in Bhakti Yoga, so Ashtanga Yoga, you say here, the goal of life to know Krishna, who is situated within the heart of every living being as a Paramatma, the four-handed Vishnu form. The yoga process is practiced in order to discover and see this localized form of Vishnu, not for any other purpose. So, Vishnu Murti is plenary representation of Krishna dwelling within the heart. One has no program to realize this Vishnu Murti is uselessly engaged in mock yoga practice and is certainly wasting his time. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and Vishnu Murti is situated in one's heart is the object of yoga practice. To realize this Vishnu Murti within the heart, one has to observe complete abstinence from the sex life. Therefore, one has to leave home and live alone in the secluded place, remaining seated in, as mentioned above. One cannot enjoy sex life daily at home or elsewhere and attend so-called yoga class and thus become yogi. So, Prabhupada using very strict words here. So, one cannot enjoy sex daily at home and elsewhere attending the yoga classes, okay, and practice yoga. And so engage in sex enjoyment. This is not how this process. Even any yoga system, not say it only for the Ashtanga yoga. Any yoga practice. And yes, here Prabhupada also say, even a married person is the restricted sex is considered as brahmachari. One has to practice control the mind and avoid all kinds of sense gratification, and of which sex life is the chief. In the rule of celibacy written by the Yajnavalkya, celibacy, Yajnavalkya speaks like, okay, karmana manasa vacha sarvatrasu karmana manasa vacha sarvavasthav sarvadha sarvatra maituna tyago brahmacharyam prachakshase. The vow of brahmacharya is meant to help one completely abstain from sex indulgence in work, word and mind at all time, under all circumstances and in all places. This is a vow of brahmacharya. Now Vidura is inquiring from Maitreya about offspring of Kardama and Devahuti. Devahuti and Kardama, if they are not married, and okay, immediately they indulge in sex and begot a child. Even after the marriage, the Kardama Muni is already perfected his yoga system. He meditated, and Lord is appeared. And Lord himself advised him to marry the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. That not that okay, Kardama Muni underwent yoga practices. Afterwards, okay, he also attracted the sex or to get married and enjoy. No, because Lord is ordered him. After the Kardama Muni accepted Devahuti as wife, and Devahuti and Kardama Muni both are underwent yoga practice for a long time. After the perfection of yoga means Kardama and Devahuti completely control on the senses. This is a perfect stage for one to beget child. So one is not control his senses, and just for the sense enjoyment, begetting a child is, according to Shastra, is not allowed. Now, after the perfection of the Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 more perfections. Here Prabhupada is speaking in this purport. Control of senses, strict following of rules and regulations, practice of different sitting postures, control of the breath, withdraw senses from the sense object. See, these are the processes they undergo step by step. Concentration of mind, meditation, and firmly fix, and self-realization. Self-realization means able to see the Supreme Lord within the heart. That's the self-realization. One able to see the Supreme Lord within the heart. After vision of the Supreme Lord, one can attain, here say, after self-realization, there are 8 further perfectional stages which are called Yoga Siddhis. After once you see the Lord within the heart, and furthermore 8 Siddhis are Lagima, Mahima, all these Siddhis will attain. Now for the Bhakti Yogi, so in the whole Ashtanga Yoga process, he undergo a strict rules and regulation and practice and control of the senses, and fix his mind, and completely meditate on the Supreme Lord, and he able to have the vision of the Lord. In Bhakti Yoga, what we think? Bhakti Yoga, there is no need of control of senses. It's not like that, there is no need of control of the senses. We don't practice of control of the senses. In Bhakti Yoga, you don't practice of control of the senses. Like in Ashtanga Yoga, because of following the rules and regulation, breathing process, many, and withdrawing the senses from the sense object, or in this way, mechanically controlling the senses. This process in Bhakti Yoga you don't undergo. But in Bhakti Yoga, we are purifying the senses. In Bhakti Yoga, you are purifying the senses. That by purifying the senses, it is as good as how in Ashtanga Yoga, withdrawing the senses from the sense objects. In Ashtanga Yoga, withdraw from that. So in Bhakti Yoga, the purification of the senses and purified senses, no more attraction for the sense objects. Don't think that in Bhakti Yoga there is no control of the senses. There are other, in Bhakti Yoga also control of the senses, and control of the senses by purification, not forcefully controlling the senses. So now we say the Bhakti Prabhupada also say, one able to practice the Ashtanga Yoga, perfection of the Ashtanga Yoga is self-realization, able to see the Lord face to face. And a Bhakti Yogi also practice Bhakti under the guidance of a spiritual master. Okay? Under the strict order of the spiritual master, practicing the Bhakti Yoga, in for a fictional stage, for the Bhakti Yogi, the Paramatma starts speaking. This is the beauty of Bhakti Yoga. Paramatma speaks from inside. When Narada Muni performed meditation, the Lord is given a darshan from inside. So for the Bhakti Yogi, Paramatma speaking from, now Prabhupada say, for the Bhakti Yogi, Paramatma speaking from inside is superior to a Ashtanga Yogi realization of the God, self-realization. For the Ashtanga Yoga, Brahmacharya is the must. A person is remaining grihastha ashrama, also perform the Ashtanga Yoga is not allowed. Ashtanga Yoga means Brahmacharya. Strictly have to follow the Brahmacharya. In Bhakti Yoga there is no, the Brahmacharya means, you say, a grihastha can't practice Ashtanga Yoga. But in Bhakti Yoga, a grihastha also practice Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga says you are superior to the Ashtanga Yoga. That means there is no need of sense control. There is a strict sense control is required even in Bhakti Yoga. That is why Prabhupada say, a grihastha is a complete controller of the sex. Only to beget a child, one is indulged in sex activity, and such person is brahmachari, even in grihastha life. So, it's not so easy. So, withdrawing the senses from sense object, okay, for a grihastha, sense object is available all the time. And still, controlling the senses is not so easy. So, the ultimate perfection of the life, even Bhakti Yoga means, generally we liberalize. Bhakti Yoga means, okay, I am chanting 16 rounds, following the 4 basic principles. That mean I perfected, not perfected. This is the process to perfect the basic process to perfect. And this practice one should bring complete control over the senses. How in Ashtanga Yoga one person is control his senses? By yoga practice. Through the different stages of Ashtanga Yoga. So Kardama Muni and Devahuti setting the example to beget a child, they underwent a severe austerity and purify the senses. Once purify senses, no more attraction for the sense gratification. In that complete control over the senses, such person is purpose of auspiciousness. It's okay, indulge in or sex activity to beget a child is auspicious. That is the reason Vidura is interested to hear about Devahuti and Kardamuni. If not, Vidura is interested in some husband, wife, life history. You want to hear, okay, who is his children, those children's children? No. Because Ardhamuni is an example set. One want to really perfect his spiritual life. How should we be focused on the process of Bhakti Yoga? Many times we are liberalize the process of sadhana. What Prabhupada asked us to do the minimum for the beginners. Prabhupada asked us to do some minimum for the beginners, and we don't want to rise above this. Okay, we liberalize. Okay, Prabhupada said, okay, this much I'll do. Other things, everything is fine. Sense gratification, even in Bhakti Yoga, is not allowed. So here, what the process Lord Krishna speaks here. So in Krishna consciousness, there is no sense control. There is sense control. How? Vishayani vartante niraharasya dehinah raso rasavarjam rasopyasya param vidishtani vartati. Whereas others are forced to restrain themselves from the sense gratification, the devotee of the Lord automatically restrains because superior taste, other than the devotee, one has any information about the superior taste. Even one is perfected in Ashtanga Yoga process, controlling the senses. Still there is a chances of fall down. Shaubhari Muni. He perfect. He did his practices in the beneath the water. But a sense object in the front is got agitated. He came out. So benefit of the Bhakti Yogi is purifying the senses. There is no control of the senses. And by purifying, a purified senses not have any attraction for the sense objects. That means to understand, even in a grihastha life, one not purify senses completely by severe practice sadhana. Otherwise, sense object is always impediment in spiritual journey. When sense object is far away distance, still we agitate it. When sense object is there, available, allowed, permitted, very difficult to control. So, these are the very important instructions the Bhagavata speaks. So, that's the reason Bhagavata has to be studied very detailed. Otherwise, okay, we'll go with the simpler principles of yoga practices. And we'll remain, okay, we'll get one more chance, no doubt. We'll get one more chance to execute devotional practices. Unless one is purified senses. Go back to Godhead is not possible. Or unless one purifies senses, the enjoyment within is not possible. There is no enjoyment within. We look for enjoyment outside. And that will happen. So any serious spiritual practice is always carried by the instruction of the Bhagavatam and the Vedic scriptures. How can I advance in spiritual life and spiritual practices? Not attract to the sense gratification. Big task. But what the benefit I'll derive by those controlling, even Ashtanga yogis cannot. So, here Kardama and Devati setting the example how one's life should be properly molded or practiced and for the spiritual perfection. The whole goal of life for the spiritual perfection, not for the essence gratification. In goal of perfection, Kardama Muni got an order from the Lord. So he got married, and so this is the understanding of the scriptures. Our decisions always may be right, may not be right. But the Lord's decision always perfect. So Kardamuni taken the instruction of the Lord. Then he take a next step. Otherwise, what is the best for a devotee? Safer side. Remain a safer side, where I'll be safe from the sense forces. That's the best option for the devotional practices. Even the forces are there, because material world is created in this way. Sense object will be attractive, but under the guidance of the spiritual master. This is a great example what Bhagavata speaks. Contemplate on repeatedly. I should be example like Kardama Muni. I should do example like any great other sages who have performed and perfected their life. And that's the guidelines for me. I don't carry away by my own mental mind dictation. If you follow the mind dictation, then we are lost. We'll be dictated by the instruction of the great acharyas, dictation of the great saintly people. That is the guideline for a serious spiritual practitioner. The reason understanding the Bhagavata repeatedly in different directions and adopting those principles in our life is very, very important. Not simply like a spiritual life, okay, there is a system in a temple, okay, attend Mangalarati, after attend Darshanarati, attend Bhagavatam. This system is there, I should be present. No. The system is there for advancement in spiritual life. There's a motive, that a motivation for every devotee should be, okay, I should there for every practices, because that elevate me. If I lose this intention, okay, then he'll be carried away by some other things in the spirit, in material life, and will lost. And our in our life, enjoyment keep on changing. Today something is gratification for me. After some age, those gratification is lost. We look for one more gratification. No end. But in all the difficulties, one carry out and look for the mercy of the Lord. To journey, continue to journey, pray for the Lord, Vaishnavas. Very humble way, practicing the devotion service. When one day we will come out of all these shortcomings, everyone has faced very easily. Okay, I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.